Well, the global financial crash was a once-in-70-year event, and yes, it cost a lot of money to bail out these banks, and unfortunately, we're all going to have to do our part. We're all in this together. All right. But we are concerned with social mobility and the housing crisis, and certainly the just about managings. But, you know, we're all going to have to cut back on those avocados and those extra holidays and just really tough it out. Right. I mean, I've already cancelled my Sky, my gym. I'm down to a pay-as-you-go phone, but... all right. Well, the pandemic hit unexpectedly and we had furlough. We've got to pay for that somehow. So everyone's just going to have to tighten their belts. No more avocados, less Netflix. You know, we've all got to play our part. Right. I mean, I'm sucking dick for money right now. Well, this inflation is a global problem and we're all just going to have to cut back that little bit more. Cut back on what? Cut back on your holidays and... Holidays? I am fucking people for petrol right... Welcome back once again to your favourite game show, Boomer Jeopardy. Straight into round one. Barnaby, are you ready?
I think I am.
Right, you are, Barnaby. Here we go. Question one. What caused the housing crisis? Was it too many immigrants? Was it a lack of house building by successive governments? Was it pensioners from your age bracket, Barnaby, buying up all the housing stock because the return on a buy-to-let investment was so much more than a bond? Or finally... option D.
Aye, let's hear it then.
Generation X and Gen Z are wasting all their money on avocados and iPhones.
Oh, well, that one's an easy one. Bloody kids want everything handed to them on a plate, don't they?
And that's your first 10 points, Barnaby. Congratulations. 10 points, but adjusted to 1.5 points after inflation. Question two.
Oh, don't get me started on inflation. Bloody furlough.
Here we go. Boomer Jeopardy. Question two for you, Barnaby. Right. Young people say interest rates... too high, unsustainable at 7.5%. The correct and appropriate response to that is A.
Oh, this one could be tricky.
The banks should take some of the hit. B. This is all Truss and Kwarteng's fault. We should vote the Tories out. C.
Oh, that doesn't sit right with me.
That's nothing. We had interest rates of 12% back in the 80s.
Oh, all right.
Or D. You don't have to buy a house. You can always rent in an overheated and totally unsustainable rental sector. Which is it going to be?
Well, that's a tricky one. But I think I'll go for the interest rates. Used to be a lot higher in my day.
It's the right answer, Barnaby.
Oh, well, wonderful.
Now, would you like to cash those in for a weekend at Butlins, or do you want to go for the big prize?
Oh, I don't know. What's the big prize?
Well, I'm not gonna lie to you, Barnaby. It's quite a good one. It's quite tempting. It's an easy sell. It's a 5-hour car ride in which you have trapped your children and they are forced to listen to you endlessly bang on about how hard you had it back in the day, how tough everything was, but how they should also now be forced to live in similar, if not worse, conditions.
Oh, bloody hell. That does sound amazing.
Well, I did say, didn't I? All of our contestants love it. Just the opportunity to endlessly harp on about the good old days when everything was shit. Hang on a second, that's weird. I'm down to my last 50 quid. What the fuck? Where has all my money gone? Better check my... I've used £400 of energy this month. Jesus. I'm gonna be broke. Still, at least I've got this house. Hang on a second, your mortgage deal ends on the 2nd of May. Well, it's not the end of the world. It was a good time to do that extension. Mortgages are fucking doubling, you cunt. No, this has to be some sort of bad dream. I mean, if 20 million people were about to be fiscally, eye-wateringly buggered, it'd be all over the news. Let's take a look. Now, even God could be going gender neutral. What? Bring back the death penalty, says embarrassments Lee Anderson. No, what the fuck is this?
Excuse me.
Who are you? Oh, hi there, yeah. I'm an overly confident presenter from a radio or TV station or some other fucking medium of tedium. But we were looking to get your thoughts on the stories that matter. Stories that matter? Well, I'm about to lose my home. My mortgage is going up by about £1,000 a month. My energy bills are outrageous.
Yeah, but...
I'm considering selling one of my children so I can afford the other one. Right. I mean, it's not all about you. We were actually wondering if you could just tell us, what is a woman? What? What is a woman? You can't hear so good.
Did you hear what I said?
You've made yourself deaf
with all that grime and hippity hop music, no doubt.
Excuse me. Who are you?
Yeah, hello there. I'm Matt Jones from a broadsheet newspaper. Where do you stand on the trans debate?
The trans debate.
That's right.
Hippity hop. Like, people are about to lose their homes.
Again,
boring.
it's not about you. Bloody hell, this generation, eh?
I know. They're so entitled. Always want something for nothing. Always want it handed to them on a plate. Oh, I can't live without my avocados and my tomatoes.
I don't care about tomatoes. I just want to keep my home and to be able to afford to keep my family warm.
Yeah, the problem is, that is not the sort of news that's going to make anyone's bollocks tingle.
He's right. You know, people want something sexy and dangerous, like dinghies in a channel, invasions.
You don't think people are going to care more when they are homeless and freezing to death?
Do you? I mean, look at this idiot.
We've just got to stop the dinghies. So here's a strange anomaly, right, that I've worked out. The difference between left and right, right? You know how, like, if you're on the left, if you're comfortable off, if you're well off, if you've got a nice house or whatever, and you're on the left, then they would call you a champagne socialist, right? But then if you're broke, if you're struggling, and on the left, they would say, oh, it's politics of envy. You know, you're just jealous, right? That's the left. Whereas on the right, it doesn't make any difference if you're well off or broke. If you're right wing, you're always just a cunt. I'll tell you my problem with conservatism, right? With conservatives, even. Conservatives with a small c. I don't necessarily mean, you're fucking Tories. I mean, like, anyone who sits, like, on the centre right out to the far right, is that so much of it feels kind of paper thin, superficial, performative. Like, it's not really rooted in any actual core principles. It's just there as a sort of matter of convenience to back up something else, like another position. And it doesn't take much for them to fucking abandon those principles in the moment if they have to. Like I'll give you an example, right? So the King's coronation is coming up in what, like 3 or 4 weeks. And the monarchy, the royal family, tradition, high society types, posh accents, these are all things that the right align with. And so then when it comes to celebrating the monarchy, this fucking coronation, then they're very happy for everyone to contribute towards it, you know? And if I say, I don't want any of my tax money going towards a sovereign grant or any top-up about this coronation, I don't think anything that I earn should go towards this fucking family that I have no interest in. Then they would then push back. They would go, well, you know, it's part of Britain. It's part of our cultural identity. It's part of, you know, we all chip in a little bit. We all contribute. It's only fair. You're British. It's part of Britishness. It's only fair that we all play our part. And then I'd be like, well, hang on a second. Let's flip that shit around, throw it back in your face about the NHS. I think the NHS is a core part of Britishness. It's something that I can identify with, that we can all identify to. And I think it's only fair that we all play our part. And then they would turn around and go, no, fucking bollocks. I'm not paying for your fucking healthcare. That's your responsibility. It's all out to the free market. Let the free market decide. If you can't afford the healthcare, then the prices will go, you know. Then I'm like, well, how about the free market decides if King Charles's coronation should go ahead or not? You know, anyone that's into it should buy a ticket. And if it's underfunded, that tells you the royal family aren't actually that popular. Then they'll be like, you fucking this insolent little prick. Why do you hate Britain?